Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, September 8th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's gonna open in about 7 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a couple things here to update and we should be good to go. Move this over here. So we are good to go. Get this loaded up real quick. I was chilling in the water for a second. There, quick update. Looks like we are good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Looks like we are good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys over here as well. So, here as well. And I think we should be pretty much good to go. I'll give a few moments for people to make their way in. I put this in one more place. I think. All right, guys, looks like we are good to go. So good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, September 8th. It is 6:26 right now. Market's gonna open shortly. So I'm gonna go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. And again, I'm just gonna mark up liquidity at like the nearest area. It's kind of pointless for me to go so far out. Not expecting price to move like, too crazy today. So got that there for the weekly. Let me go down to the daily. There. The 8 hour. Go down to the 4 hour. So I'll be looking for the breakout again today, guys, for the breakout version 2. And I'll see. We can cash something today. All right, there goes the 1 hour. Go down to 30. Change the color, that's red. 15-minute. 10-minute. And looks like we are good to go. All right, so going back to the 1 minute over here. Closest level of liquidity is going to be right there for a buy. It's a low level, about 400 pips away, not super far. And then we have a lower level right here. So we got a high level at 34,912 and a lower level at 34,823. Level down here is about same distance, about 400 pips. So we'll see what happens on open. I'll be looking for that breakout first, the version 2 of the breakout, and we'll see what happens there. So morning, morning everybody. Morning Kevin. Morning Kenny. Morning Dan. Morning Randy. Morning Maria. Morning Daniel. Morning Kenny. Other Kenny. Morning other Kenny. So, hey William. Morning. Good to see you here. Morning Martha. All right, guys. So. A lot of people are asking why was there like a big price gap between yesterday and today? It's because of the contract change. So if you go back and you just scroll back to yesterday for market switch to the new day, you guys will see right here. You just click on that. It says contract switch. It's from September. It's from last quarter's contract to the next quarter. It happens if not every month, it happens every quarter. So it's not like anything crazy. It's a contract switch. It's because the market's closed and they switch to a brand new contract. So that's why there's it looks like there's a gap in price, but there's not really a gap in price. It's just a new contract. It wouldn't matter because you wouldn't be able to trade during that time anyways, during market close. So that's just a quick little heads up of like what that was. If you guys are wondering, it seems like a lot of people are freaking out about it, but it's something that happens basically every month, if not every month. Depends on the broker. So we're off the exchange here. So it's contract by quarters. So it doesn't happen every month, but basically every quarter. So, all right, guys, I'm looking for 2 green candles here. If I get 2 green candles, I'll be looking for a possible breakout 2.0. Brush that. Oh, that's my top step right there. So I'm looking for a possible breakout 2.0 over here if we close. So this is the first candle right here. There goes the first one. And then if it's followed by another green candle, that's going to be the breakout 2.0 entry. So I actually took an accidental trade this morning. This is the downside of trading on 2 different platforms because I'm trading on my laptop and I'm trading on my computer. I had my laptop clicker on buy, and then it just automatically took a buy when I brought my screen back up because my screen was black. And I'll just post my profits for that right here. All right, so I'm basically looking for a green candle right here. We have about 20 seconds left on this candle. If it closes green, this will be the breakout 2.0. If it doesn't close green, then you have to wait for another 2 green candles to follow. You have a bullish momentum here. That's why we're looking for a green candle. But it does not look like it's going to close in the next 5 seconds. If it does, then that's going to be entry. If not, then it's going to wait. All right, so I didn't close green. There's no entry there for the breakout 2.0, at least not yet. So now we have to wait for another 2 green candles. So here's the profits I was just talking about, guys. Great. My laptop free market. So if you guys look over here, I'll post this up on the Zoom as well, or the Discord. Yeah, I took a trade. I didn't realize I was in the trade until I looked on my computer and I was already in profit. So This is what I have right now, but there's no official trade yet. I just want to show you guys because later when I post my profits, people are going to ask, what did I take earlier? I didn't take anything. I kind of just accidentally got into that trade there. All right, so we have one green candle here. If we get another green candle, that's going to be a possible opportunity for breakout. Retail sentiment here is neutral. Fundamentals here are neutral as well. They're pretty much flat. Technicals over here are bullish neutral. So we don't really have too much of a bias today, guys. I mean, it's kind of all over the place at the moment. So today's overall bias, and this is normal for Friday, of course, retail sentiment is, I'm gonna watch this. This closes green, then it's going to be a possible entry for the breakout 2.0. Let's see, nope, did not close green. So let me finish putting this up. Neutral, that's 55% short. Fundamental bias, neutral as well. Negative 10 points. Short-term technicals. This is bullish or bullish neutral. Long-term technicals, also bullish neutral. So as you guys can see, there's not really too much of a bias for today. I mean, it doesn't really matter because we don't need a bias for these specific entries. If we get a sell signal right here, then I'm going to look for 2 red candles to confirm the opposite direction. So right now we have a bullish candle or a bullish momentum. So we're looking for 2 green candles. If we don't get 2 green candles and we get a sell signal, then we'll look for 2 red candles. That's pretty much the breakout. Super simple, nothing too crazy. So again, right here, looking for a possibility of 2 green candles. This strategy is a strategy that I'm just testing, guys. So I just started testing this, yesterday. I have data for like the past month or so. So it's in its testing phase. I'm like testing it real time to see how it plays through. But again, it's not an official strategy. So if you guys don't want to take it, you guys probably shouldn't take it. This is all testing phase right now. So the only way for me to test it is if I do it on, real time or real market conditions, because we're not really going to be able to test our trade psychology. Back testing is way different from doing it real time. So I have to pretty much be the testing subject here as we see how it fares during real market conditions. So it does not look like this is going to close. It did not close with a green candle, so still no entry there. Again, we're looking for, now it's a reset, 2 green candles or a red sell signal with 2 red candles after it. But let me go and take a look at news real quick. So we had news over here at 6 o'clock. It was low impact news. I'm going to go and mark it up on the chart real quick. So there's news right here at 6 o'clock. There's news at 7, and that's pretty much it, looks like. That is pretty much it. Okay, so let me go over here to the clean chart. I'm going to mark up a couple of things as well. Market open was right here at 6:30. We'll draw structure a little later. It's not really necessary at the moment. And then opening price, which was right there. So there goes a clean chart. Back to the main chart here. Again, we're looking for another green candle. You guys can see it's very indecisive right now. As you can see from how price is moving, ATR is currently at 15. It's not great, but it's decent. Price is going back and forth. You can see every other candle is green, every other candle is red. There's no double greens and no double reds, so there's not really much of a direction right now. As price continues to, just move along sideways. If we get a sell signal here, then it's going to shift. Of course, as you guys know. So we'll see. I mean, this candle has about 20 seconds left on it. It has a lot of time, actually. And we'll see where this goes. Once we look for this, we'll see if we can find maybe something else like my momentum counter scalp. that I'm also testing. And then after that, we'll look for the momentum pullback scalp, which typically happens after 7 anyways. All right, so we got a pending sell signal here. If the sell signal closes, it doesn't matter if it's valid or invalid. Well, then we're no longer going to be looking for buys here at all. But if there's no momentum signal, we're still looking for 2 green candles because the most recent momentum right there is green. Let's see, Kip is asking, what did we set for breakout 2 with the original breakout, no entry? Yeah, so for the original breakout, it was like it had to happen within the first 5 minutes. But for this one, Kip, since it's based off of momentum, it can just pretty much, it happens once a day. So that's the cool thing about this strategy, is that it happens once a day. It doesn't matter, like it's not really time based. It's going to happen between like the first 30 minutes. But for the original, typically the entry would have to happen within the first 5 minutes or so. That's usually how it was. And the breakout 2.0 was like it happened right before as well, but there's just too many confluences for something like that. For this specific strategy, what happened like basically between like the first entry that happens from open up until whenever it happens. And generally you're going to have 2 candles come up, you know, within the first 30 minutes usually. The thing with this market too is that there's not very much volatility, so it's hard to find, you know, those double candles because the volatility will go back and forth a lot. So we got to see how this starts to work during, you know, fall season when the market does pick back up. Because at that point, we'll probably have double candles pretty often versus here where it's like a lot of back and forth movement. All right, so a sell signal right here closed, guys. We're no longer looking for buys. We're now looking for a sell. So if we have 2 red candles that follow, then we'll probably be looking for a sell at this point. We're just looking to trade in the direction of momentum, of course. So this is 1 red candle. We'd have to have another one right after. Doesn't really matter what size it goes to, but we're looking for 2 back-to-back red candles, basically. Like there's a pending green candle right there. Nice. So David over here took a trade on open, total profit of $49.90 for the day. Nice work, David. Yeah, David said, hey, morning, Sean, finally back. Sway. Profits. Yeah, definitely, David. So solid profits right there. I'm still looking for this here to come up, looking for 2 red candles. So we got the first one right, or I mean, not yet, but if it closes, that'd be the first one. So I'm going to just post up David's profits over here. Here is mine as well. All right, we're still looking for those red candles. So we don't have anything here yet. I mean, if it switches back up, then that's fine too, but still nothing here. ATR is at 16, so it's nothing crazy. Still pretty flat for the most part. It's back to 15 now. So we got this pending green signal right here. If this green signal closes, then we'll start looking for buys instead of these sells, or the breakout version 2. Hey, Glenn, John, morning, guys. Let's see what else I'm missing over here. Yeah, Kevin also mentioned that the ETR is still at 14, which sucks. Hey, CJ, welcome back. Guys, so just remember, Mondays and Fridays are typically the riskier days to trade. On top of that, this is a holiday week, so that's just another red flag. Plus, we had a contract switch this morning or during Asia session. So there's just a lot of different things to take into consideration today. If you guys don't have to trade, it's completely fine. You don't have to trade. I'm in the testing phase right now with these strategies, so I technically have to trade them. I can't like be biased just because it's a Friday. If anything, I might just take them on one account instead of taking them on all my accounts. Because just looking at how the market's moving right now, there's not really much volatility, right? It's a lot of sideways movement. That's exactly what we don't want. We want price to be moving directional, because the last thing you want to do is take a trade and be stuck in it forever, especially if it's a trade where you're holding on to it for like 200 pips. It's a long position to be holding on to. So we're looking for two green candles right here, guys. We have a buy signal. We're looking for two green candles. The only problem with where price is currently at right now is that price is just ranging. It's not really moving directional. So it's going to be a little difficult to really have a direction to like follow, right? So here's a clean chart, as you guys can see. It's not really moving out of this area right now specifically. I'm hoping it picks up a little bit, but that is currently what it looks like at the moment. So if we get another green candle that closes, then technically this will be the breakout version 2. But you guys can see the volatility here is very low. Here's a clean chart. As you guys can see, there's not really too much here to follow. You know what, CJ, I just saw your question right there, and that was a counter scalp. I totally missed it. There was a counter scalp entry that came up right here, guys. There's a sell signal, 2 green candles right there, and it hit right there super quickly. I don't know if anybody caught it, but it happened super quick. So if anybody caught the counter scalp, it was right there. There's a possible breakout version 2 that's pending right now. Yeah, so there's a counter scalp that came up right there. If this candle closes green, then this will technically be, and it didn't close green. It would have been a breakout version 2. So yeah, if you guys took the momentum counter scalp right there, it played out perfect. I totally missed it. I wasn't even paying attention when that came up, but it did come up, went straight to TP, and it hit. Nice. Yeah, CJ said he took it, but I didn't say anything, so I thought he messed up. So this is the problem with me taking multiple strategies at one time, right? Because I'm so focused on the breakout that I totally missed the momentum counter scalp right here. We had a sell signal that came up after 6:30. We had 2 green candles right here. The entry happened right there on candle close, and it went straight to TP. So if you guys caught that, great work. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. Looks like about a good handful of you guys here identified it. CJ identified it, William identified it, Randy identified it. So yeah, no, you guys did good identifying that right there. So if you guys took it, that's great. I'll take a screenshot and put it in the documentation for the, I'm not going to put it as official trades, but I'll put it in the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet for the momentum counter scalp, which is going to be right there. Let's have to make some adjustments here. At 6, same time, 643. It looks like all the winners come up around 643. That was a win under profit. Yeah, it has a pretty good win rate. So guys, if you guys are not part of the Discord, or actually, I mean, there's not a lot of people that are part of the Discord yet, only the premium members. So if you're in the premium, guys, and you guys are not part of the Discord, you should probably join it. I just updated the spreadsheet right there just now for the counter scalp. I didn't take a trade, but it did hit. So if you guys are in the Discord, if you go down right here to the trading journal, you go down to the momentum counter scalp, you click on this right here, it'll pull up the spreadsheet and you guys can see all of the results. So I update it pretty much every day. And you guys can see when these trades come in. So there's a possible sell entry over here for the momentum, or sorry, for the breakout version 2. Yeah, the volatility here is super low. As you guys can see, these candles suck. There's not really too much going on here. You can't really see the sideways movement unless you go to the clean chart here, but the price is literally just going sideways. There's nothing going on here, which is not what you want to trade in, especially not for these types of strategies where you're looking for a directional move. So we got a red candle right there. If we get one more red candle, technically this is going to be an entry for the breakout version 2. I just don't really like how the market's moving right now. Volatility is super low. It's just not really looking too great. Also for Friday, it's not, there's just no direction, right? We got news coming up right here at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock news is going to be the inflation rate. So inflation rate, wholesale inventories, it's going to be low impact, but just look at my news. So we will see what happens there. So yeah, guys, just a reminder, if you guys are part of the Discord, not everybody's part of the Discord. So if you're not part of the Discord, it's fine, guys. There's no rush. It's not open to the public yet. It's only open to the premium members. But if you guys do go in the Discord, go to the trading journal. I have every live trade that I'm going to be putting up right here. So if you click on that, I only have January here for this year marked up. I'll be doing February, March, April, May, June, July, etc., whatever. Once we get to that point, but I just don't have time right now to work on that. But I'll be updating this periodically. This is going to be like my main focus right now, the Discord. So I'm not really holding any more mentoring sessions as of now. What I'm doing here is I'm mainly putting the Discord together. If you guys want a mentoring session, just ask me and I can possibly do it next week. But unless anybody asks me, I'm not going to hold a mentoring session. So main goal right now is to get the Discord up and running and then open to the public. I just got to figure out how to use it. So I'm doing a lot of research and just learning how to do everything on Discord. I have somebody else to do it for me, but for me personally, I like to know how stuff works. So I'm doing all the learning on my end, at least like the basic stuff, so I can run the channel and stuff like that. But all right, guys, we're still looking for an entry here for the breakout version 2. Price is swinging back up, pinning buy signal right there. There's no entries for any momentum pullback scalps either, guys. So just there's no rush. ETR is currently at 14, so it's very low right now. If anything, I might not even take the breakout today, guys. If anything, I'll follow it and then I'll document it, but I probably won't take it. The volatility here is just too low, and you can see over here on the clean chart that there's no direction. For the breakout, you're looking for a breakout, right? So you want price to continue climbing or continue dropping. We don't have that right here. Price just keeps going sideways. The last thing you want to do is take a breakout. Price doesn't break out, right? To beat the whole purpose of the strategy. So we'll see what happens as we continue to follow along. But right now, there's just nothing at the moment. Let's see. Vince is asking, would 650 be a momentum counter? Momentum counter would be, let's see, 650. Yeah, so that would be a pattern for it, Vince. But for the momentum counter, I only take it on open. So if you're looking for the pattern, yes, that's the pattern. So you have a sell signal here, and you have 2 green candles. You guys can see that a lot of momentum counters do come up the patterns, but from what I've looked at, there's so many that come up that there's going to be a lot of wins and losses. So if you take all of them, you're going to end up like close to like break even, if not like a little bit in profit. So I don't take all of them. There's going to be some days where a lot of them hit and they're just back-to-back hits. But for that strategy, you're only supposed to take it the first one. So if you look at the criteria, it's only the first one after open. Yeah, if you look at the requirements, Vince, it has all the requirements there. So if you go to the momentum counter scalp, it says identify momentum signal after the 6:30 open. So you're only taking one a day. It's a 1 a day strategy. You take that between 6:30 and 7, and that's pretty much it. In the future, you might be able to take more because of the volatility will pick up. But yeah, that would be a pattern right there. You can see that there's a whole bunch here that come up. So for example, there's a buy signal right here, right? And there's 2 red candles. So there's a second one that came up right here too. Right? That one would have hit, but you wouldn't have taken it because it would have been, the criteria is done for that strategy. But you can see that there's a lot here that come up. So the sell one that comes up right here, that's the one that you guys identified for the buy. sell signal, 2 green candles. Entry would have happened right there. That also would have been a full TP. So full TP right there, one right after it. Green buy signal, 2 red candles. Another full TP right there. And then this one right here was the other one that you looked at. So you can see over here that there would have been, this one probably would have lost. Or no, actually it's still probably running. Yeah, so this one over here probably would have lost. So you can see if you take too many of them, it kind of defeats the purpose, right? If you would have just taken the first one and then been done. Oh, fuck, we missed the breakout. Oh, my life. Oh my God. Okay, we missed the breakout. Shit. Okay. I gotta go back to not answering any questions, guys. It's okay, Vince. This was my bad. I should have been paying attention. But yeah, we did miss the breakout right there. Yeah, I'm not gonna answer more questions, guys. So if you guys have any questions, just save it to the end or save it for a mentoring session. It's all good though. It's still running, but I'm not gonna hop into this. It's just too late for me to hop into this entry here. Also, the volatility is kind of low. But yeah, this was the breakout right there. It actually closed up here. So I think it hit already, or it might have. So we would have entered right here on the close of this one. We had a sell signal. Price kind of bounced around. We had 2 red candles right there, and that would have been the entry right over here. So it's still running right now. I'll document the trade, but I'm not in the position. Fortunately, I wasn't able to catch it. I'm not going to hop in late. It's too late for this right now. So yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions regarding like anything that happens on here, go to the Discord, go to trade, just like what Kip said, go to the community and trade questions. Just put your questions in here and somebody else will answer your question. Either somebody else will answer it or I'll answer it at the end of the session. But during the live session, I'm not going to answer any more questions because this is the main reason why I try not to. It's hard because I want to answer the question and I want to make sure that everybody understands what we're doing, but it cuts into to the my analysis here, and unfortunately like a lot of people miss this trade, but it's all good. We'll follow it. I was kind of iffy about taking the trade today anyways because the volatility was so low. I'm hoping this drops though, so because I just want us to be, there you go, it's about to hit our TP. There you go, full TP off the breakout, guys. So if you guys took it, great work. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. But again, guys, moving forward, no more questions during the live session because stuff like this happens, right? And it's not just today, guys. This has happened a bunch of times in the past. It's just another reminder that I shouldn't be answering any questions during the live session. So great work, guys. If you guys caught it, looks like about like 4 or 5 of you guys caught the breakout right here. You guys can see how lucrative the strategy is, right? This is like a one and done strategy. You take one entry, done for the day. Yeah, this would have been worth a lot too. This would have been worth like 27,000 for me. So that was a 27,000 mistake for me right there. Trying to put the people first, but it's all good. it's all good. We'll move forward, and at least we have the data here that the strategy works. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna go and do the same thing. So let's go over here to the Discord, right? Go to the Discord, go to breakout V2, update this right here. I'm gonna go and just make some changes real quick. So we got this right here. Today's the 8th, so 9/8/23. And I'm going to be updating this like every day, guys. So entry came about like we'll say 6:53. It was a sell, it was a win. Profit right there. I'm going to go ahead and put this right there, and we're good to go. All right, so we got the data right there, guys. And the cool thing with this is that whenever I update it, all the data here is going to be updated, right? So you can see for the breakout, it has from now, September 7th or September 8th, back until August 14th, about a month's time. There's been 14 wins, 5 losses, total profit of 2,250 pips, and a total trades of 19 trades. So win-loss ratio for this strategy is 73.68%. And I have all the data right here. So that's crazy. It's been on a pretty nice win streak. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About like 6 back-to-back wins for the breakout V2. So it's pretty solid. Pretty solid. Anyways, we have that done right there. I'm gonna go and start looking for some momentum pullback scalps. So I'm gonna go and start marking up levels over here. The volatility is kind of low though, so We'll yeah, Vince said you could have passed phase 1 at the start of September. That's crazy. Now you're good, Vince. No problem. I'm kind of glad you did that because now we can remind everybody why we don't ask questions during the live session. Because we forget sometimes, right? Sometimes we forget. And the only way we can make adjustments is if stuff like this happens. So it's all good, Vince. Don't take the blame. It's all good. Because you're the only person asking questions. There's other people in the group that ask like kind of pointless questions sometimes. And this is like a reminder that, you know, if it's a serious like question, then you know, feel free to ask. But I'll probably just save it till the end. So it's all good. But yeah, you could have passed too, Vince. So if you just took the breakout for the entire month of September, it's only been a couple of days. It's September 8th right now. So if you guys took the every trade here, right? Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you took every breakout version 2 for the month of September, that's basically, so each trade I'm going for 2.5%, right? It's a 1-to-1, so you can do it 2.5%, not a big deal. 2.5 times 6, you'd have 15% gain. So you would have passed the challenge, basically almost done with, actually you would have passed the whole thing. You would have passed the challenge and you would have passed the verification right after if you had a 2-step. So it's all good, guys. Anyways, we'll start looking for another entry here if we can find one. We have news right here in a few minutes, in 1 minute actually, 7 o'clock, and then we'll see how price moves from that point. All right, CJ. Yeah, CJ said he's done for the day. See you on Monday. Yeah, so CJ over here took the breakout and he killed it. Jonathan said the strategy is money. It's all about patience and discipline. Yeah, if you guys would have waited for the entry to come up, we were pretty much just waiting for the entry to come up, and it played out pretty perfect. So it's pretty solid. Yeah, William said, yeah, so his goal is to just take the first momentum counter scalp, and he's pretty much done for the day. Yeah, if you just do that too, William, you'll be pretty solid. I mean, I have the data for that too. If you look at the momentum counter scalp here, so the momentum counter scalp has 14 wins and 2 losses for a month's time, from August 7 up until September 8th. There is 14 wins and 2 losses, total profit of 900 pips, win-loss ratio is 87.50%. So I pretty much document every single trade here so that you guys can see. And you guys can see, like, you know, it's like what people say, like the proof is in the pudding, right? Like literally I have all the data here. So it's hard not to want to take the entries. Anyways, there's a possible momentum pullback scalp over here. William said, I meant to just take the first. Well, I mean, that's the whole strategy, William. You're only supposed to take the first one. It's like what I was just explaining to Vince when we missed the trade. Like, that's the strategy. You're only supposed to take the first one. You're not supposed to take anything after. So basically what you said is you confirmed the strategy. You said just take the first one, but that's the strategy. You only take the first one. So you basically just confirmed that, you know, that's a criteria for the strategy. You're not looking for any other momentum counter scalps after, because there's only one for the day. All right, let me go to markup news price right here. Yeah, Maddie, no, 100%, 1000%, Maddie. I mean, Kip's probably, well, Kip can't see that either, but it's all good, guys. See, Kip said there was 2 valid points there. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, you would have done that already. But yeah, other than that, so we got news right here, guys. Price is pushing up. Okay, so there's no momentum pullback scalp that we can technically take as a volatility so low. ATR is currently at 13. It's now at 14. But we do have the setup here that's kind of pushing through. We have a buy signal right here. The trend is also bullish. You can see prices above the pivots. Pivots are angling up. Trend meter down below is green. So we have a bullish trend. Now that we have this direction to the upside, we're looking for a retracement and continuation. Once we get that there, that's what we'll be looking to take the buy at this point. Once we take the buy at that point, that's where it's going to be the entry for the momentum pullback scalp. However, the ATR down here has to be at least 15. It's currently 14 right now, so I don't think there's going to be any entry for us to take at that point. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking for here. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, guys, I'm going to keep documenting every trade so that we have data here. So just another thing too with this. So like this data set's cool, but I think this data set right here for the official trades for pretty much the entire year is going to be more useful. So the reason why I brought back the breakout was because I put in the data over here and you can see how many breakouts we took and they all hit, right? So that's why I was like, okay, I need to bring back the breakout, but I need to make it better. And that's where I came up with the breakout strategy that we're now testing. So let's see, got this right here. So at this point, guys, like in a time like this where there's like downtime, this is where I can kind of answer questions. If we're looking for an entry, then I'm not going to answer any questions. But right now we have a lot of downtime. The reason why we have downtime is because of the ATR is too low, right? It's currently at 14 right now. So there's no way I'm going to look to take any entries at this point. So like I was mentioning earlier, it's not that I'm not going to answer any questions at all. Like I'm not going to completely ignore the questions. But if we have downtime like this is where I can kind of just take a step back and answer questions. So I'm going up and just marking up but if it's like a really detailed question, then I'm like, if I have to explain the strategy to somebody, that's gonna have to wait until the end, guys, okay? So if you don't understand the strategy, don't ask the question yet, go back and watch the video. So if you guys don't understand the strategy, go to the Discord, go to the strategies over here and like watch the video, because I'm not here to teach you guys a strategy. I'm here to like confirm. If you guys see an entry, I'll confirm if that's an entry, but I'm not here to teach you guys, oh, this is the strategy, when there's an entire video here to teach you what the strategy is, right? So go to the course. If you guys don't know the strategy and you have like a basic question like, hey, is this the entry? And you don't understand the strategy, go to the course. The course is right here. And you guys can learn the strategies there. So learn the strategies before you come with the questions, because if you ask dumb questions, it's going to upset people in the group, right? It's not really going to upset me because I know the strategies, but other people are going to look at you differently for asking dumb questions. So just keep that in mind, guys. I just want to make sure that that's clear. For me, it doesn't bother me, but for other people in the group, you're in front of an audience. If you're asking a dumb question and you're in front of an audience, everybody's going to be like, why is this guy asking this question here? Like during the live session, save those questions for a mentoring session or something like that. So just keep that in mind, guys. I just want to make sure that's clear because I know how things are behind closed doors with people. Anyways, so Rashida was asking if there was an entry for a buy at 958. And like I mentioned, guys, the market's kind of slow right now. Well, the market is picking back up. But let me see what Rashida's question was. 958 here, which was 658 my time, I believe. So which strategy were you referring to, Rashida? If you're talking about the high-low momentum scalp, then yeah, that would be an entry. So there's a lower low right here. There's a buy signal at broken close past pivots 1 and 2. And that'd be an entry right there for a high-low momentum scalp. So if you're applying that strategy, yeah, that would be the which one, Rashida? I'm testing like 2 strategies. Well, there's no entry here for any of the strategies at all because the breakout already happened earlier. That's one that you identified. And then for the counter scalp, it came up like way over here. So there's no more strategies. There's no more entries for the ones I'm testing at the moment. The first one happened over here. There was a sell signal, 2 green candles. That was a full TP for the momentum counter scalp. And then the breakout was the same one that you told me about earlier, which would have been the red candle right here. So nothing over there specifically. Looks like the liquidity just got hit too. Man, there's a lot of entries here. So I don't know if anybody caught any of the entries, but like pretty much everything is getting hit right now. We had a momentum counter scalp, we had a breakout, we had liquidity, the volatility started picking up a little bit. I mean, it's still kind of low, but it's not, it's moving directional. So right now the ATR is currently 13. It's still pretty low, but so there's a momentum pullback scalp that's coming up right here. We have the bullish direction right here, bullish momentum signal, price pushed up. This red candle right here is retracing. Well, this one right here retraced. So the entry technically would have been right here, but the problem is the volatility is so low that we wouldn't be able to take this trade here, but this would be a momentum pullback scalp right there. So if price swings back up, it's going to be a full TP for it, but it's not going to be one that we would take because the ATR down below is too low. You can see it's 13 right here. For the strategy, it requires that it is at least 15 ATR. So the trade's technically running. If you're looking for the setup, that would be the setup right there. Sorry, I'm gonna mute my Discord real quick. Before I mute this thing. Okay, I just hear the clicking noise. Yeah, so there's a possible like this is a possible setup for the entry, but again, if you guys need the requirements for this strategy. So if you don't know the requirements for the momentum pullback scalp, go to the Discord and then watch the video there, and that'll explain. It's one of the new strategies, so I don't expect a lot of you guys to understand it. But yeah, the requirements for there are going to be right here, and then also the requirements for the other strategies that we're testing, like right here, the breakout strategy, they're in the spreadsheet. So if you guys need to, I mean, everything's there, guys. Like if you guys look hard enough, you'll find the information that you're looking for. It's either in the Discord, the website, or in one of the videos. All right. Let's see, William's asking if the 658 candle. Yeah, so that would be a pivot. Well, I mean, technically, I don't know at the time, because at the time the trend wasn't really confirmed yet. You can see the trend was starting to shift over here. So I can't tell if the trend was bullish or not. But if it was bullish, that'd be a pivot scalp entry, William. And it's also a high-low momentum scalp as well because of the lower low right here. All right, so I'm gonna take this off, guys, because I'm not in the entry. Again, the ATR is still too low, so there's no opportunity for entry right now. ATR is currently 13, so volatility is very low at the moment. We need the ATR to pick up a little bit before we start looking for entry, because the last thing you want to do is take a trade and then be stuck in that position for X amount of time. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark up new structure over here. I'm going to update this zone right here. Actually, I'll leave that zone right there because it looks like this would be a fake out anyways. So I got structure marked up right here for the clean chart. As you guys can see, price was ranging for a bit, came down, faked out, shot all the way back up, faked out right there, pulled back, and now the range is within these two zones right here now. So there's not really too much movement here. If you guys were to like measure actual movement, so market open right here, it only pushed up about 600 pips, pushed down here about 300 pips. So the volatility here is extremely low for market open. So it's really tough to take any entries right here because you're going to be caught in, I mean, like a lot of like just back and forth movement for the most part. So before we can take a momentum pullback scalp, we need to make sure that there's, the volatility picks up a bit. Volatility here is still at 13, hasn't changed very much. And we just have to wait for this here to pick back up. It's 7:11 right now, so we still have about like 50 minutes till 8. It's not a lot of time, but I mean, hopefully the volatility picks up. If it doesn't pick up, it's completely fine, guys. Like I mentioned earlier today, Friday is not the best day to trade. So if you guys made your profit today and you're happy, I would just wrap it up. I would either turn off your MT4 and you can stay on this live session, or switch to a demo account, because this is definitely not the type of market that you want to mess in on a day like this with these types of conditions. If the market was volatile, then it'd be great, but the market is not volatile right now. It's pretty rangy, so you can't really see it too well here, but looking over here, you can see that it's pretty clear the range that price is just bouncing back and forth from. All right, we got some profits over here from Andreas. Total profit of 1,160 for the day. Nice work, Andreas. All wins. Looks like he took the breakout. He also took the buy for the momentum, the high-low momentum scalp. So nice work right there, Andreas. I'm gonna go and put Andreas's profits over here. We have Maria over here too. Maria locked in a total profit of 260 for the day. Nice work, Maria. Okay, you guys are doing pretty solid. Guys, so if you guys don't have access, so when you guys go to, and I'm learning this myself too, if you guys are on the Discord and you guys don't see your channels, go over here to the side. So I think Maria, you're here, right? I think that's your question. So if you guys are not familiar with Discord, and I'm pretty sure you're not familiar with it, Maria, because you're new to here, just like me, go to this top part right here where it says the server name, drop down, and then right here, go to show all channels. So click the drop down and then go right here and click show all channels. And then it'll show all your channels there, Maria. If you don't see the trading journal. And it'll just pop up. Yeah, no problem, Maria. All right, so we got nothing else over here right now, guys. The volatility is still low. So these are times where I can answer questions. So, going back to what I was saying earlier, guys, when we have downtime like this, I'll answer questions because the volatility is too low anyways. There's no entry that I would want to take, even if we had the setup. But when we're like focused on taking an entry like a breakout, I think basically like between like 6:30 and 7 is probably gonna be like off limits for any questions. So I don't miss any trades. And then if volatility is up, we'll be looking for momentum pullback scalp. So I also wouldn't be looking for, or I won't be answering any questions. So I mean, that's pretty much just just how it's going to work. It's going to be a process, guys. So we'll see how I can kind of figure things out. Or I mean, if you guys put your questions in the chat, someone else can answer your question as well. But volatility is too low, so there's nothing for us to take. Let's take a look at liquidity. So liquidity over here, if you guys remember, like a lot of people have been looking for that second touch. The second touch is going to happen right here now. And it looks like it's going to blast right through to its TP. Man, I'm surprised the ATR hasn't picked up yet. It's still at 13. The thing is, it looks like price is moving here, but if you go over to the clean chart, it's not really moving too much. It looks like it's moving here, though. It looks like it's kind of going directional. But it's kind of an illusion because it looks like it's actually climbing when it's really not. The reason why I also know that the volatility is low is because these levels here are so spaced out, right? Typically, there's going to be levels like in between each box right here. But you can see over here that these levels are so spaced out that the volatility is so low right now. It's not really moving too much. And this is probably the worst type of market that you want to trade in because you don't want to trade when the market's moving too slow, or else you'll be stuck in a position holding on to it for longer than you need to. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Like typically for these momentum pullback scalps, you want to be in the position for like about a minute max. If you're trading when the volatility is low, like right now it's even lower. You can see the ATR is now at 12. It's crazy how low it is for a Friday and market open as well. So it's so low that you'll be stuck with this position for like hours, or not, maybe not hours. Okay, I'm over exaggerating it a bit. You'll be holding on to the position for like maybe over 10 minutes, which is a long time for a scalp because a scalp's supposed to hit within 5 minutes or so. Let's see if there's anything else here. See if I'm missing anything. Is there a question here? Looks like we are. Sorry, I'm looking to see if there's anything here that I'm missing. Looks like majority of you guys here got into the I could unmute it. I don't think there's any more clicking noises happening here. I don't know where the clicking noise comes from. I'm trying to figure out like what server is it coming from. I don't think it's mine. Actually, never mind. It is. Yeah, gotcha. I'll just mute it for now. Yeah, no, I saw it. Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah. Vince said you can mute all servers. Yeah, I've never used Discord before. It's the first time using Discord, so I'm still trying to figure out all the functions. But it's all good. I just didn't want that to kind of I feel like sometimes when people hear a clicking noise or a ding noise, they think that I'm in a position or I entered something, but realistically, I'm not. Like you guys remembered, like in the past, like so. If you guys traded with me last year, like last summer or 2 summers ago, actually, MC4 used to make a clicking noise. So when I would enter a position, I would be looking and analyzing stuff like behind the scenes. Like we'd be on the live session, but I'd see something happen and I would enter a trade. And then I'd get out really quick because I had my TP stop loss set up. The good thing is MT4 took that function off, so it doesn't make that noise anymore. But back then, people would just listen for they would listen for that clicking noise. So if they hear the clicking noise, they would just enter a position, not even knowing what I'm taking. They wouldn't even know what direction I'd be trading in. And they would get lucky and profit. But I don't want to instill those bad habits into people. So I try to turn off as many noises, like pretty much all the noises if possible, so that there's no confusion as to what the noise is pertaining to. All right, so the volatility here sucks for Friday. It's currently at 12. I'm gonna look at my profits for the day so far. We have some profits over here from Jamie. So nice work, Jamie. Jamie locked in 2 trades, full TPs, total profit of 700. Nice work, Jamie. You took 2 buys for the day. Great profits right there. And I'll transfer this over to the Discord. All right, solid. So there's no entries for us to take right now, guys. The volatility is getting even worse. So I'm going to close my laptop. Actually, I don't need my laptop anymore. But yeah, if you guys can see over here, the ATR is currently at 11. This is pretty low. Like I wouldn't recommend anybody trade during this time because if you enter a position, you're probably gonna be holding on to that for a long time. Or the problem is you'll be holding on to it and then there's gonna be a spike that happens all of a sudden. And when that spike happens, it's either gonna go straight to your TP or it's gonna go straight to your stop loss because the ATR is just too low. I've never seen the ATR this low on open. Like I've only seen this happen for, well, not even this low. Typically it'd be at like 13, 14, but 12, 11 is extremely low for market open. It's 720 right now. Market's supposed to be in full swing right now. And it's moving like this, right? This is probably your sign to either sit out of the market for the rest of the day and call it a week or just wait for the market to actually pick up. It's 721 right now, so it's getting closer and closer to 8. If there's any questions that you guys have, this is probably a good time to ask. I think that's what we'll do, guys. So I think just to make things kind of like, just to avoid us from missing any trades, you guys can ask questions, but I probably won't start answering questions until after like 7:20, 7:30, because typically that's where the market dies down. You guys can see the volatility was pretty nice earlier. Well, sort of. It was ranging. There was volatility, but it was ranging. And then it picked up right here. And then it died down right here. And now it's kind of picking back up. So I'm gonna go to markup levels right here. But yeah, if there's anything that you guys want me to cover, just feel free to put your questions in the chat. At this point, I don't even know if I'll be taking any entries because the volatility is so low. Scrolling down real quick. So I'm just gonna add up my profits for the week so far. So here's the accidental trade that I was talking about earlier, guys. I didn't really it was an accidental buy. There's like literally no strategy to it. I just opened my laptop, I clicked to turn on my screen, and then it entered into a position. My clicker is usually above the buy button or sell button on MT4. So I accidentally took a trade here. So my profits for the day, I'll go and just add these up real quick. Let's see. So for the day so far, 470 plus 530 plus 530 plus 530 plus 1060 plus 230 plus 216 plus 565 plus 565. Total profit of 4,696 for the day. So that's for the day. For the week, I'm up 3,520, 1780, 2030, 2180, 2759, 475, 638, 2457, and 3831. So for the week so far, I'm up 19,650. These are all my accounts right here for the week. So pretty solid week. This is why I'm not really I don't need to force anything. Pretty good for the most part. And then for the month, let's see, 3520, 3,700, 3,700, 4050, 2739, 1615, 978, 3987, 3831. So total profit of 28,120 for the month. So for the day, I'm up 4,696. For the week, I'm up 1,650. And then for the month, I'm up 28,120. So I typically don't take a screenshot of my month profits, but I just want to show you guys, like, if you guys stay consistent. I mean, I didn't even take that many trades this week. I took a couple trades for the month, for the week, and for the month. So I barely traded for the month so far, September. It's been kind of slow, but you guys can see if you're consistent, you don't take dumb trades, you know, it could add up. Even if you just had one account, you don't have to have multiple accounts like me, but if you just had one account, you guys can see Williams did 28K a month. I mean, it's only September 8th, Williams, so it's not even a month yet. That's more like a week and a half for the most part. So, you know, if you guys can find the consistency, like the thing with William here, if you guys saw William's message, so William, you know, he had like a lot to say yesterday. He said that like he didn't really like our style of trading and he didn't really believe it and stuff like that. And he didn't wake up early to trade with us. But then he started to realize that what we're doing here works and it makes sense. Now it makes sense to him. So he's like, okay, now he should actually wake up and, you know, pay attention and do things properly versus being so stubborn and just acting like you know it all. Like, you know, that's how most people are when they trade. When they join a group and they see something that we're doing that's different from theirs, it's understandable, right? You're gonna feel like you know everything and you don't need to follow what we're doing. But if you guys can see, like, there's like proof here, and I have the spreadsheet to show you guys like all the trades too. That if you guys just stay consistent and you focus on quality trades, you'll be perfectly fine. You don't have to. There's no more. What's it called? There's no more trading requirement for like a lot of challenges, or even if you're trading a personal account, you don't have to trade every single day. You just need to take the good trades and then you'll be able to pass eventually. It'll just take a matter of time, but it'll eventually, you know, it'll line up with what you're aiming for. Yeah, no, I agree with you too, Maddie. But yeah, my profits are pretty decent so far. I'll continue to update the spreadsheet so that you guys can see. The reason why I want to update the spreadsheets as soon as possible is because I want to see what's going to happen like next year, right? These spreadsheets are going to help us for next year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up all the data. I'm going to see what strategy was good during a certain time period, like for the month of January or for the month of February or for the month of March. And then when 2024 comes around, we'll already have an idea that, okay, this is what we're going to focus on. And these are the strategies that we should probably be applying during that time because they worked so well that previous year. I think the breakout will probably be a pretty good staple. I mean, depending on how the market conditions are in the future, but for the most part, I think it's going to be pretty solid. You know, tying data and, you know, our current analysis of the market, we'll be able to really pinpoint like what strategy is going to be most profitable and, you know, what should we be applying. See if there's anything else here that I'm missing. So we got some profits over here from Gian. Gian locked in the total profit of 980 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Gian. So solid profits right there. And I'll put this over here to Gian. Gian's profits. And then we got Vincent over here. Vincent locking the total profit of 395 for the day. All wins as well. Nice. Yeah, so Vincent said he took a higher level of liquidity, hit his TP, but slippage happened, so he didn't get his green strip, unfortunately. But he did his profit right there. So nice work, Vincent. Yeah, Daniel said ATR is low, but both liquidity hit. So going back to liquidity over here, if you guys are following liquidity, I marked up these levels pre-market. So if you guys come onto the live session early enough in the morning, I mark up liquidity like immediately on open, right? So liquidity right there got hit. Typically, people have been wanting to wait for that second touch. I mean, it's just up to preference. Some people either want to take it right away, or some people want to. For these blue ones, I'd probably take right away, right? Because the blue ones are the higher levels. For the red ones, you either want to take it for a small push or you want to take it for the second touch. Like for example, here you can see these levels are weak because they're red. They're on the lower time frames. Price came up, faked out, came back down, and then it blasted right through. Right here on the blue one, this is a higher level of liquidity. So price pushed up and it went straight through. So this next level over here, one more. The only problem with this is that it's overextended. So that's something to look out for. The thing here is that it's overextended, so you want to be careful with that. But yeah, I mean, other than that, guys, market here kind of sucks. Volatility is still very low. I'm surprised it's this low. It looks like price is moving, but I mean, realistically, okay, so if we were to measure this, so let's see, let's measure from here up until here. So it's been about, we'll go like 30 minutes time. So actually, it climbed pretty decent within this period, but the overall volatility is still very low. So if you go back like maybe 30 minutes, it probably pushed about like close to 1,000 pips. You go back 15 minutes, it's pushed like 300 pips. So you guys can see here on a smaller scale, it hasn't really moved too much. It just had a small little burst of movement here. It's like a slow climb, like not very many candles, but it's a slow climb to the upside. Each candle is kind of small, but it slowly climbed to the upside right there, like what we were looking for. I mean, it's still climbing right now. Volatility is still kind of picking up a bit, but it is a little slow. All right, we got some more profits over here from Andrew. So guys, I'm not really posting the profits on here as much like how I used to. I'm mainly posting them on the Discord. So it's fine that you guys post it here, but if you guys are looking for all the team profit posts, it's going to be here on the Team Profits Discord channel. So we got, let's see, Andrew said gave Apex a try today. It's definitely tougher to trade in TradeOvate than TradingView. Yeah, so Andrew over here just opened a couple, or I don't know how many accounts. He opened an account with Apex. He locked in the total profit of 3,111 for the day. Nice work, Andrew. Yeah, so solid profits right here as well. So I'll put that right there. Andrew's up 3,000 for the day. So these are Andrew's profits. So solid work right there. Yeah, I know it's going to be tough, guys, for us to migrate over to Discord, but eventually we're going to stop using the Telegram. So if you guys, you guys don't have to do it right now, but like slowly get acclimated with Discord, because that's going to be our main platform. So just remember that, guys, if you guys are looking for, if you guys are, because there's no point in growing with Telegram. Like if you guys are still trying to figure out how to use Telegram, you guys should just start making the change to Discord. Because I mean, even myself, like I'm still trying to figure out Discord too, so I know it's difficult, but I'm gonna have to figure it out. There's no getting around it. So nice. I see a lot of you guys here joining the group. So nice work there, guys. And I will as you guys join in, I'm gonna go in. Randy's already done. He's already done trading for the day. Randy's over here playing Windcraft, whatever that is. So that's why Randy has been messaging in the group. So yeah, guys, if you guys are done trading for the day, you guys are fine to do whatever you want. Yeah, I see Randy's still here on the Zoom. Yeah, so Randy said, yeah, I saw ETR, so he started playing his game, which is completely fine, Randy. If you guys are fine with your profits for the day, it's 7:33. I'll hang around for a bit, but there's just nothing for us to take right now. Honestly, there's nothing to take. So whether you guys want to trade or not, it's not a good time to trade. So I'll hang around and I'll see if there's anything going on. If there's nothing that comes up in the next, like say 10 minutes or so, then I'll probably just wrap it up. But if you guys have questions, I'll still hang around and answer questions for you guys. I don't mind hanging out with you guys. It's just, I don't want to force any trades here. So I think what I'm going to do personally is I'm probably going to close my MT4. So I'm going to close my MT4. I'll analyze trades here, but I'm not going to take anything. The volatility is too low and I'm not expecting it to pick up in the next, 30 minutes or so. It's currently at 12. I need to be at least 15 before I can even think about taking any trades. Yeah, it's just there's movement here, but each candle is very small. That's what we're trying to get across to you guys. So like you can see, like this candle right here was about like 17 points. Everything else is like small. Like there's movement, but each candle is super small. So if you were to take a trade, you'd probably be holding on to that position for quite a bit before you have any opportunity for entry. Yeah, exactly. Daniel said you'll see everyone gaming during live sessions when it's slow. Yeah, I know a lot of people here are playing 2K already. For you guys who play 2K, I think 2K just came out recently. So everyone's playing 2K. Let's see. Andrew's asking, Maddie, how's the copier on Ninja going to finish setting everything up today? So I think Maddie he's using Tradeovate. Andrew, I thought he was using Ninja because it looked like it, but he's using Tradeovate. So he's doing the same thing you're doing, I believe. I don't know. Personally, I don't know. I don't use Ninja, so I'm not. Yeah, so Maddie uses Tradeovate. There's a couple people in the group who use Ninja. You probably pop into the chat and ask. What's her name? Shannon. So I think Shannon uses Ninja Trader. If you want to look for her in the group. Yeah, Maddie does group trading. I think Sisu does group trading too. I tried to do group trading, but it's kind of, I don't really like it because you can't set a TP stop loss. Like you have to actively be watching it and you have to actively be going in and out of the position. So it's kind of annoying. Let's see, question from William. William's asking, Sean, why don't you buy MT5? Was just your preference to buy MT4 when you bought the FTMOs? I mean, I've been using MT4 for like forever, William. So it's like, you can't just like switch your account to MT5. Back then they didn't have MT5. So you can't just say, hey, I want to go to MT5, transfer my account to MT5. I have to wait for my payout. And then if I wait for my payout, then it's going to overlap with the other account. So it just doesn't make sense. There's no like specific reason why I did it. They're the same platform. It's just MT5 is a little newer, but it's pretty much the same thing, William. It's not really like I've been trading for a while. It's not like when I was trading, MT5 was like a new thing that nobody wanted to use because there was so many bugs with it. But when I first started FTMO, there were only MT4 options. And if you look at other brokers too, a lot of the other brokers are just MT4 options too as well. A lot of them just started rolling out MT5. So, I mean, main reason is that it wasn't around when I was using it. And then secondly, I didn't even like MT4 to begin with. So I was planning on trying to find an alternative, but back then there was no alternative for a copier. So that's why I use MT4 or MT5, whatever it may be. William said he bought MT5, but then again, he bought them more recently than you. I mean, it doesn't matter. If you're using MT4, MT5, it doesn't make a difference, William. It's not going to change your trading. It's pretty much the same. My personal account is on MT5 though, because that was the only thing that was available for that broker. So I had to use MT5, but the copier doesn't matter. You can use MT4 or MT5. It's the same difference. So Yeah, it's just such a preference. I don't use the platform for any actual like tools, so it doesn't make a difference. I'm just entering the trades on those platforms. So, whether you got MT4, MT5, it's gonna work the same way. Let me scroll up real quick and let me see if there's anything else here. Let's see. Yeah, Maddie said takes you step by step how to set up and enter, no bracket orders. Yeah, I know it kind of sucks. The bracket orders are really important, especially if you're copying the trades or if you're taking scalps, because you have to be in and out super quickly. So the problem with the trader baits copier is that I have to do everything manually. So I'll enter the trade and then I'll have to I can enter the trade using a pending order, but then to exit, I have to use a manual exit. Nice. Sisuk said he's really close to the answer. So hopefully you find that Sisuk and we can figure that out. Let's see. Vince is asking V1 at 734 because technicals right now, technical analysis is bullish. Let's see. So Vince was asking about 734, which was well, if the bias is bullish, and let's take a look. So let's take a look at retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is currently 58% short. Not very strong, but it is somewhat bullish, just like what Vince had mentioned. If it weighs in that area, then possibility of entry for buy is decent. Yeah, so it looks like it's somewhat bullish. Let's take a look at the technicals now, like you mentioned. Technicals are bullish on the short term and bullish on the long term. So yes, this looks like it could be a V1 variation. So there was a double body rejection right there. I mean, I can't really see closely, but it looks like it could be a double body rejection. So flat body. And this would be a V1 right there. Yeah, it's still technically running right now. But the volatility is so low that I wouldn't want to touch it. But yeah, it is a V1 variation right there, Vince. But it's near sessions, yeah, like you mentioned. So I think this is fine though. So the V1 variation right here is fine because it's close to session. Actually, no, take that back. You're right. The entry candle right here is touching the sessions. So yeah, you probably want to skip that because it's touching the sessions right there. Because there's just too many lines here, so I couldn't see it. But it looks like the Asia high right here, this purple line. It touched it and it would have invalidated it as a red flag. But it is a setup for a V1. But you can see how the volatility here sucks. You're only going for 100 pips, right? This is only 100 pips. And you would have been holding on to this position for, let's see how long. For 8 minutes. Imagine holding on to a V1 variation for 8 minutes. And it still hasn't hit your TP. And then now it's going to draw down. Now you're sweating. And you pretty much want to punch yourself in the face for not pulling out in profit. This is why you don't want to trade when the ATR is so low, because this is like the type of setup that I'm like literally warning you guys about, and I'm trying to prevent you guys from getting into. The last thing you want to do is take a scalp that's supposed to close within like a minute or two, and you're holding on to it for like 8 minutes, and then it goes like 10 minutes in, and then it goes into drawdown. You're like, oh my God, I should have pulled out. Like, you know how stressful that would be and how pissed off you'd be at that point for not pulling out profit. So guys, this is a clear example why using the ATR down below is going to be useful, because if it's so low, you're going to be stuck in this position. You're going to be so upset that you held on to that when you could have pulled out in profit like way over here. I mean, you should have pulled out in profit way over here if this was happening, because you would have already known like, okay, this trade is holding on for way too long, and you would have just pulled out. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I felt that way before, guys. I've been in that position. So that's why I'm like warning you guys, because this has happened to me before where I take a position, the volatility is so low. And I'm like, man, this sucks. I'm like holding on to this position and I regret pulling out, and it goes into deep profit or deep negative drawdown. And I'm like, man, I had so many opportunities here to pull it out, but I had to be so stubborn to hold on to it. And now I'm in drawdown. So yeah, that is pretty much, the setup right there. Let's see, Randy's asking, can you copy MT5 and MT4? Yeah, you can, Randy. So it doesn't matter what you're using. If you're using MT4, MT5, Social trader tools let you copy regardless. FF is asking which broker are you using for your personal. I just started using Hero FX. I can't really recommend it because I haven't gotten a withdrawal with them yet. I'm just using them right now. I see a lot of people who promote them. So I was like, oh, if everybody's using them, they might work for scalping. It's hard to find a good scalping broker right now. I was using Henko Trade before and they were fine, but they're not working well with the copier anymore. So I don't use them. And I had to switch over to Hero FX. Again, I haven't gotten a withdrawal with them yet, so I don't recommend them to anybody. I'm just kind of testing out the account. I've only been with them for like maybe a couple, like for this month, September. So once I make my withdrawal and I make money, then I can maybe recommend it to people. But right now, I'm just using them, testing them out. You know, the only way to really test them out is if you test them out yourself. Like I'll never believe any reviews online, or if even someone in the group was to tell me like, hey, Sean, this broker is good. I'm like, okay, I'll tell you it's good if it's good, if like once I know it's good for sure. You can't take someone's word for it. Just keep that in mind. For any trading platform or any like broker that you guys use, you guys just have to test it out sometimes. You can't take someone's word for it because, so like initially, I don't want to throw Kip under the bus. Is Kip still here? Kip is not here. So I don't want to throw Kip under the bus, but Kip told me about TFF a long time ago. I did TFF, I got funded, and he was like, oh, this platform is so great. As soon as I got funded, the whole server changed and I lost every trade. I was making like 2,000 per account, and I think I still have it here. Let me see TFF. Yeah, so you guys will see like over here on all my FTMO accounts, I made like 1,000, 900, 700, and then my TFF gave me negative 100. This was as soon as I got to the funded account. Like it didn't make any sense. Let's see, where is he? Okay, so again, right here, right? So again, over here, my FTMO is making like 1,400, and then my TFF gave me like negative 166. It's crazy. So like, you know, like I mentioned before, guys, like, you know, if you guys want to know if something works, you just have to test it for yourself. You can't take someone's word for it because it might work good for that person. And then here I am, I'm using TFF again. I said I would never use them again. And here I am trying TFF because MFF is down. So, you know, you kind of just have to, you got to test stuff out, because if you don't test it out, you're not going to know for yourself. Let me scroll up real quick and see if I'm missing anything else. So Martha is asking, we shouldn't have a momentum signal on the, you just don't need a momentum signal on the second candle, Martha, on the entry candle. You can have it on the one before, but not the second one for the V1 variation. All right, Amanda, we'll see you here on Monday. Have a great weekend. Let's see another question down here. I'm scrolling down the list, guys. So Martha has another question here. It says, refresh my memory on the V1. We shouldn't have a momentum signal on one of the candles. You can have it on the first one. You can't have it on the second one, Martha. So there's a V1 right here, but there's no signal on the second candle, so it's fine. Let me see if I can find an example where it came up on the actual candle. I mean, it doesn't happen very often. Yeah, I don't really see any examples here, Martha, but you can have it. Okay, so here's an example right here, right? I know this isn't an entry, but see how there's a high right here? There's a double body, and then there's a momentum on the actual entry candle, this one right here. This is where you can't take a V1. You can't have it on the entry candle. You can have it on the one before because that's just a reversal, but you can't have it on the actual entry candle, Martha, for the V1s. Yeah, I know sometimes you just need to get refreshed on the strategy, especially if you haven't been using it for a while. Yeah, it's not super difficult. All right, Randy, we'll see you back here on Monday. So it looks like a lot of you guys are logging off for the day. I think those are all the questions. If there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. The volatility here is still very low. It's currently at 12 right now, so it's not necessarily a good time to trade. If you guys made some profit for the day, feel free to send them into the chat. I will take, here, I'll do this right now, actually, while I'm still here. I'll take my individual screenshots of my accounts again, like I did yesterday. And then we will wrap this up for the day, guys. So hopefully everyone did pretty good today, or not today, but for the week in general. Maybe it was a good thing I took that accidental trade earlier, because I wasn't able to catch anything else for the rest of the day. Here is my first funded engineer. My FTMO number 1, 530. I'm just screenshotting these in order so that it's easier for me to post up. The FTMO right here, 1,000. Yeah, guys. So unfortunately, there were no official trades today. I mean, there was a breakout that we missed, but it seems like a lot of you guys caught it because you guys were able to spot it when it came up. I didn't take it, so unfortunately, there's no official trade for today specifically. Let's see, 230. What an engineer 1. Right, my MT5. So this is the first time I've actually used MT5. I've never used MT5 before. I've only used it now for this personal account because there was just no reason for me to use MT5. I don't think it really makes a difference. At least not like a difference where it's like noticeable. Uh, 5, 6. There's my TFF. All right, so let me just post this up real quick, and then I'll wrap this up, guys. So 470 on the first account, 530 on that one, 530, 530,000. I have so many accounts now, so it's going to take me so much longer to take these screenshots, which it's not a huge deal, but it obviously takes time. Okay, so I got like 9 accounts here, guys. I just posted up all my profits right here. So I'll just cover this real quick and then I'll wrap it up for the day. So here is my first account. This is my funded engineer account, 200K. I locked in 470 on this account. Here is my FTMO number 1, locked in 530. My FTMO number 2, locked in 530. I forget which one is this one. Sorry, I got to rename it. I made 530 on this one too. And this is my 200K FTMO. You can see it's a bigger lot size, locked in 1,060. Here is my funded engineer 100K, 230. My personal account, Hero FX, 228. My first TFF 600 and my second TFF 600 as well. So pretty decent profit. As I mentioned, I have all my numbers here. So for the day, I locked in 4,696. For the week, I locked in 19,650. And then for the month, I'm up a total of 28,120 for the month so far for September. It's only September 8th, so pretty early on in the month. I mean, maybe this is going to be my 100K month. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I just got to stay consistent. If I can do this every week, it'll add up. And then if we just have, I think the breakout's going to be a pretty big game changer for a lot of people. So if that continues to be solid, then, profits will just keep stacking up from there. Let me see if I missed anything. So William's a great day today. I see you all on Monday, 6-month. Yeah, see 6-month build auctions past our trading session. Yeah, there's not too much news, I don't think, next week. So we'll see. But all right, William, we'll see you back here on Monday. Kevin, we'll see you back on Monday as well. Marcin, see you then. Daniel, see you then as well. Randy, see you then. All right, guys. All right, so I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we're just going to wrap this up for the day. The market's moving very slow. So if you guys don't need a trade, I'd probably just sit it out. You're good, Vince. Vince, it could have been more for you, bro. My bad again. It's all good, Vince. You're not the only one. There's a lot of people who are asking questions, so it's not just you. But I think, this is just another way to call it. I should just stop answering questions between like the first hour of trading. So, all right, guys. Other than that, I will see you guys back here on Monday. If there's any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, have a great weekend. Be safe. And we'll